everyone, it's Sharana from Para Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing Killing Eve Season 3, Episode 1, Slowly Catchy Monkey. You guys, my heart is in a million pieces right now. I literally feel like someone took my heart, ripped it out, stomped on it, and was just like, here, take it. I am so sad that my homie is gone. I was sitting there literally when we were getting to the 10-minute mark of the episode. I was just like, man, nothing's really happened this episode. This is kind of like a setup episode. And as soon as I said that, literally a body falls from the sky and I just said, I know it isn't who that I think it is, but it was. But before I even get into the spoiler recap, if you guys haven't watched the season 3 premiere Killing Eve, pause this, go watch it, and come back and have a discussion with me. So, getting into the episode. So the episode opens up, we're in Moscow, 1974, and then we see this gymnast who we know that the gymnast's name is Dasha, because at first I was like, is this Villanelle? But I was just like, 1974, that girl was like a baby. Like, was she even born yet? So we see that she's doing a routine on the uneven bars. She's doing a very fantastic job. But when that girl, she did her landing and she took that step, my heart stopped, okay? Did you hear the music skip at the same time that she took that step? I was like, ooh, girl, you in danger. And so the dude, her coach, he started going off on her. Like, do you want to go back to the streets? Do you want to go back to the gutter to where you came from? I was just like, oh my goodness, you didn't have to threaten to send the girl back to the gutter. But we always heard that like gymnastics in Russia was like really serious back in the day and even now. But when he was like, winners sacrifice everything. And I was just like, this a bit much, sir. Like, I just think that you're going in just a tad bit too much. And we see that there's a young boy watching her in her practice. And when she goes into the locker room, he comes and he hands her a flower and he was like, I think that you're a winner. I was like, oh, that is so cute. I was like, is that her boyfriend? And then she started kissing him. I was like, okay, they boo things. You better go make your boo thing feel better. And then she bit his lip. I said, man, what are you doing? He was trying to make you feel better. She beat the brakes off of him, like the brakes up off of him. She didn't just hit him. Because then I was like, dang, did he say something? I had to rewind it. I was like, I thought that he said something nice to her. But no, she beat the brakes off of him, beat him so bad, I don't even know if he was alive. I feel like he was dead. Then she poured chalk all over him in his mouth. And we saw that this is a foreshadow to a kill that we see from Villanelle later in the episode. But I was just like, my goodness, I am scared of this little girl. We was doing this when we was just little teenagers. So we then switched to we're at a wedding. I'm like, okay, this is a nice wedding. I feel like I would want to be at this wedding. Everyone's having a great time. The bride looks absolutely stunning. And then we realized that the groom, the other bride to be, or I guess bride at this point because they got married, it was Villanelle. I said, oh, oh, so you just shoot your ex and then all of a sudden we done moved on. We married now? So you married? You ain't thinking about Eve no more? But that was short-lived because as she's doing her speech, I was like, ma'am, do you even love this person? When she started doing the speech, basically alluding to the fact that she basically is only with her because of her money and her status. And then when she said, you know, we got together after I had a bad breakup, and she was like, I'm so happy that my ex is dead. And I was just like, girl, you can't say that at the wedding. I was looking at the bride like, girl, what was you thinking? Like, how are you in love? How did we even get to the point where you guys are married? But can we talk about how Villanelle, her like tux was bomb, was on point? Shout out to the costume designer. I need to figure out who did the costume design for this season, but it was absolutely stunning. I was like, hey, Villanelle, you crazy girl, but you was looking stunning, okay? You was dressed to kill. Get it? I know. It was lame, but it was okay. I was still here for a good pun. So we see that she's kind of distracted outside of the fact that she obviously does not love this woman and that she's clearly not over Eve. But she keeps seeing a woman and we see that she gets distracted like during the middle of the dance. She didn't walk down. I was like, girl, it's your dance. Like, what are you doing? And so then finally we get to the cake tasting. We see the woman, this older woman, who we now know is Dasha. And then she literally like full on leaves her first little cake thing and goes and tackles this woman to the ground, y'all. Tackles her to the ground. They start fighting. Then everybody else start fighting. Grandpa in the background having a heart attack. I was like, can someone go check on Grandpa real quick because he's not doing well? And then it turns into complete chaos, which is just, it's Villanelle. Everything is just chaos. She does what she wants when she wants to do it and doesn't care about anyone else's feelings. In this case, doesn't care about her bride's feelings. So we see that the bride is just she just broke her heart. And I was like, boo-boo, you know this lady did not love you. So I don't even know why you're shocked that this is what happened on your wedding day. And I find it funny that she leaves with Dasha, who we now know is her new keeper. She's the new handler for her. And they kind of leave at her like just married card, looking all mad. I was just like, I'm mad for you guys. Because if you just gonna get in the car with her, y'all could have just been friends. Maybe they had a bad ending. I don't know what happened, but we know that she trained her to basically do her kills. So I guess as the season goes on, we'll get to continue to learn a little bit more about the relationship. But Harriet Walker, who plays Dasha, I feel like Dasha's gonna be like my new fave. Like, she's petty. Like petty. You see her going off on the little kids. I was just like, you cannot say that to the kids. You cannot call them a wimp. Inspire them, help them to want to do more. Then she started talking about like, well, she won't worth nothing either, and I helped train her too. I was like, girl, she's sitting right there. You know she crazy. Well, I guess you crazy too because you trained her. But I think that I'm gonna love that she is her keeper and that she has a female keeper as well. She has another woman who is a keeper, because we saw what happens when Villanelle does not like her keeper. She will get rid of you in a heartbeat. But we see that she basically asked her to come back and work, and she says like, hey, I'm not trying to do that. Like, if I do come back to work, let me be a handler too. Let me be someone's keeper. And she was like, girl, what? But she was like, but ma'am, what is in it for you? So we know that Dasha's trying to get back to Russia. So if she basically turns Villanelle around, gets her back on the up and doing her jobs, then she would get access back into Russia. So pretty much she gives her a job, and so she has to go to Garona, and then she meets this lady in a coffee, I don't know, she sells herbs. It's some type of shop. But I was like, are we really about to kill this lady after she tried to help you? She came with this story about how her grandpa is dying. He has heart problems. And then my girl got all the way up on the top of the store on the little ladder to get your granddaddy some saffron for his heart. And what did she do? She literally pushed this girl off the ladder and had the girl fall. I thought she died, but the girl came back swinging. She was like, I'm not finna go out like this. But then Villanelle smashed her head in. She started hitting her over the head with this jar or something. And then she ends up pouring the spice all over her, reminiscent to the kill that we see in the beginning of the episode with Dasha, which makes sense now because Dasha taught her everything that she knows, okay? Dasha said, you better ask about me. They still reading about me. They're still studying my kills, okay? The craft, the excellence. You can't match it. I trained you, hunty. I am here for Dasha. I hope that they do more like flashbacks into like what kind of kills she was doing. It feels so weird talking about how I want to see these other kills. It's like Killing Eve has literally made me heartless to the point where I'm just like, oh yeah, let me see how Dasha was sitting up here killing people. But that's just the beauty of Killing Eve. You know that Villanelle is a sociopath and that she's scary. But because of Jodie Comer's performance, you're just like, but I want to see more of her because she's like, she's crazy, but she fly. And she gets the job done. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with her. We don't really get to see that much. I guess we do see a lot of Villanelle in this episode, but this is really like a setup episode as to where are all the characters now after the events of the end of the season 2 finale. So I guess I'll talk about Constantine first, who was her previous handler. He seems to be away from his family. So I thought the deal was if he helped with that mission and getting Villanelle to kill Aaron, that he would get access back to his family. But I don't know if he just negotiated more protection for his family or what, because we see as he has 15 million phones, like 5 different phones on him. We see that his daughter is calling him saying that she doesn't like where they are, like she wants to be out of this, like you promised me that you were going to come back. What is happening? But we see that he gets a special delivery in the episode and that it has something written on the card, but we don't necessarily know what it is or if it has a connection to anything with Villanelle or to my homie Kenny. I don't even think I'm ready to talk about his storyline right now. I just got him back. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to have to skip him real quick. We'll talk about his mama, okay? We'll talk about his mama. So Carolyn, she's not doing too good, okay? So after everything that transpired and Eve basically just went rogue, on top of the rogue operation that they were already doing in Rome, Carolyn now has a new supervisor, Paul, who used to work on the foreign side of things, but now he has taken over her position. He is the overseer. He tried to say, you know, just because I'm running MI6, and she was like, hold up, boo-boo, let me tell you something, okay? You might think that you're running MI6, okay? But you're just a desk. You sit here, you oversee. I still run things. Like, she didn't tell him like that, but that's like pretty much what she did. But did you feel the shade between her and Paul? Because, you know, I'm here for the shade and the pettiness. When he was just like, you know, I was going through my divorce, and then I'm thinking it's probably great I'm working with Carolyn because, like, who else knows anything else better about divorce? I said, sir, I know my girl Carolyn's been married a couple of times, but you didn't have to come at her like that. I just didn't understand. Didn't try to throw shade like, I'm sorry that I'm taking your desk. I was just like, sir, is it really that serious? But then we see that Carolyn has a meeting for Diane to kind of answer for everything that has happened. She's not happy with her, but I'm glad to know that Hugo is alive because she said that Hugo was suing them for the fact that he got shot. So I was like, you know what, Hugo? I am so happy that you made it through. You got your son in a fake threesome, then got shot, but you came back. Okay, and I hope that you get all of your coins, all of your money from MI6, okay, because they owe you, because they put your life in danger. But I'm just happy that you're alive, kicking, running. I hope that you're kicking and running, doing whatever that you need to do. But you got yourself out of this mess. So we have to talk about, I still can't go back to talk to him. Okay, I'm sorry. So we're going to talk about Eve. So Eve was shot at the end of the season 2 premiere by Villanelle when she basically said, I don't want to be with you. Because you're crazy. Like, you made me kill someone and I didn't have to kill them. So we see that she seems alone, miserable, very unhappy, working in her family, one of her family members' restaurant in the back. And essentially she just wants to be out of sight, out of mind, doesn't really want to be around everyone. And so we see as she takes off her shirt that we see a scar from where she was shot. And we also learn through some dialogue between her and Kenny, still hurts to say his name, R.I.P. Kenny. After a discussion with Kenny, after he basically gave her a heart attack because she didn't realize she drunk texted him, and he just walks in her door because for someone who's been hunted by a serial killer, like, you're just way too lax with the security, ma'am. You're just feeling a little bit too free. They have a conversation, and essentially, she kind of hints that she's still in contact with Nico. She's done with MI6. She doesn't want to have anything else to do with MI6. And so she's just really laying low in New Malden, England, just slumming it. She just looks so depressed. I was like, girl, you look just terrible. Like, you're still beautiful, girl. But I'm just saying, you look terrible. Like, you look like you didn't really been through some things. And so we kind of see a darker side of Eve as she's basically ruined her life at this point. She gave everything away for this woman who is just really incapable of love. And so we see that she ends up having a conversation with Nico, who seems to be in a rehab facility. We know that in season 2, episode 7, that his little, I want to say tramp, but I can't say that because she ain't really no tramp. She is a tramp because she was trying to get somebody's married husband, okay? He was married and you was sitting up there trying to get all up on him. So yes, I am going to call you a tramp. R.I.P., but you're still a tramp. Gemma, who was murdered by Villanelle because she knew if she did anything to Nico that Eve would just be like, not having it. And so he's having a hard time kind of dealing with things. You know, mentions how MI6 basically cleaned everything up, made it look like a suicide. That's what they told her parents. And so it seems that Eve is trying to make it seem like everything is just okay, but clearly he's been through something traumatic, and he's not too happy with Eve. So I think it'll be very interesting to see where their relationship goes. It was already rocky in season 2, and I love how they kind of foreshadowed what was going to happen in season 1 when Carolyn had a conversation saying that your husband will soon suspect you of doing something, like kind of alluding to the fact that if you are doing things like this, a part of MI6, is not going to lead to a successful and happy marriage. And we're starting to see the fallout from, you know, what her pursuing Villanelle, like what that really cost her. And one of those things not only was her job, but also to her marriage. And so, and we see that she calls Kenny. She calls Kitty to have drinks with Kitty. Kitty had asked her, did she want to grab drinks with him and some of his co-workers? He has a new job. He's working at the paper. He left working from his mom. He's still upset with Carolyn after everything that happened in Rome, even though he was a part of the cleanup crew. Tried to apologize to Eve. Eve was like, it's okay. You good. I was like, I'm glad that you guys were able to wrap things up before somebody threw him off the roof. I still can't deal with this. So, I'm still confused as to why he's living with his mother, even though he's so upset. I said, Kenny, you got a job. How old are you? Why are you still living with your mama like this? Like, I know your mama got money, but she can't get you in your own place. I'm just saying, just thoughts, opinions. Yeah, it's just very, very unhealthy, Kenny. But we see that he's still upset with her because she hasn't apologized for anything that's happened. And she was just like, why would you think I'm apologizing for anything? Like, I make mistakes, you know, things happen. Like, that's the nature of the job. Like, I don't understand. Then proceeds to say, do you want some fish and chips? He's just like, yeah. I'm just like, this codependency is not okay, Kenny. So we see that Kenny was still researching the loose ends from what happened in Rome, and Eve told him like, hey, I don't want no parts of this. I'm done. I'm over it. I don't want nothing else to do with that life. However, he was still researching these things at work, and so we see that he hears these noises in the office, and then unfortunately, as Eve shows up to go to meet him at work, she finds his phone, and as she is checking his phone, she sees something fall from the roof, and she goes down, and it is my homie, Kenny. It is Kenny. I just got him back. I just got Kenny back. He was growing on me. He had a little spot in my heart, just like Eve had a spot in her heart for him. And I don't understand why they took Kenny from me. So I'm guessing this is how Eve is going to get looped back in with MI6. I'm interested to see how Carolyn kind of deals with his death. Does she want to investigate what is happening? Is Paul going to try to block her from the investigation itself? Is this how Eve gets tied back into MI6? I don't know what's going to happen, but I do want to know is what Constantine received. Did that have anything to do with Kenny actually dying? Because we know Villanelle didn't do it because she's in a whole nother place doing her own little serial killer thing. So I'm very interested to see how things are going to play out for this season. But it definitely seems like we're in a different place. This is a different tone. Eve is just really going through it. But we see Villanelle, she's just still living her best life. I can't wait to see what happens once she realizes that Eve is actually alive, that she did not kill her. Since the tourists, we saw from the conversation with Kenny that the tourists found her and got her to the hospital in time, and that's why she actually survived. But I will say, the first 30 minutes, because I watch it without commercials, I was like, this is kind of a lackluster premiere to me, because there's not that much happening. This is more of a setup to really show us like where everyone kind of fell off after what happened at the end of season 2. But the last 5 minutes, I literally was like, I literally gasped out loud, just gasped. Like, why did I think that y'all was really going to give me lackluster when I would say gave me my life in the last 5 minutes, but you took my life out of me. R.I.P. Kenny, okay? R.I.P. Shine. Delaney, I loved you as Kenny. I felt like you were my brother. Then I had like a weird thing for your character. And then you came back to being my brother when I saw you trying to look out for Eve. And I'm going to miss you. Though I'm missing you. I'm sorry, y'all. I just break out in the song sometimes. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that happened in the season 3 premiere of Killing Eve, episode 1, Slowy Catchy Monkey. As I said, love Dasha as a new character. Can't wait to see what the rest of season 3 has in store for us. But most importantly, you can always check out my Killing Eve recaps. I will always air my recaps at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time once this episode is over. But those are pretty much my thoughts on the Killing Eve season 3 premiere. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.